Yeah, it's advocating for violence, especially advocating for violence against an elected representative. Like, I feel like, I mean, what is the word for that? Oh, jeez. What is that? I keep forgetting. Oh, jeez. When you advocate for violence against people that are in political office, what is it? I don't remember. I forgot. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, who knows? You're way too patient. I would have banned half the chat already. No, it's okay. It doesn't bother me at all. I know that a lot of people do get agitated and they get mad because I don't go really hard on stuff, but I do try to be as fair and as balanced as I can be. And obviously, like, you know, mistakes happen, things don't go the way that I want them to in every circumstance, but in a general sense, it is something that I try to do. And playing devil's advocate, do you think it's possible he meant kill as in murder? I think he meant it as kill, as calling him out and putting him on blast.
Asmongold!
I don't think so. Yeah, I don't think so. It's a bit much, right? I mean, maybe the first time, right? But I don't see it 2 times. And I understand, like, I try to give people the benefit of the doubt as much as I can. I really do. But, oh, here we go.
20 prime ministers and presidents wanting to come. And it's very good feeling. I think our country has really turned around. We had a meeting today, as you know, with President Zelensky, and I would say it didn't work out exactly great from his standpoint. I think he very much overplayed his hand. We're looking for peace. We're not looking for somebody that's going to sign up as strong power and then not make peace because they feel emboldened, and that's what I saw happening. I'm looking for peace. We're not looking to go into a 10-year war and play games. We want peace. And it was just my impression that if we do that, if we sign up, he's looking for something that I'm not looking for. He's looking to go on and fight. We're looking to end the death. 2,000 people died this week. Soldiers, more than that, but
it's a lot.
2,000 approximately people died this week. Young Ukrainians and Russians. And somebody would say, why do you care about Ukraine and Russian soldiers? I care about them. I care about everybody. And we're not doing that. Now, if we don't do anything, he's going to have to make peace, but he's dealing with a very weak set of cards. If we sign, he's dealing with a very strong set of cards, and then he doesn't want to make peace. So that's where we are. It's very simple. I'm not looking to get into anything protracted. I want immediate peace. President Putin is going to want to make, and he wants to end it. And you saw what I saw today. This is a man that wants to get us signed up and keep fighting, and we're not doing that. Not for this country. So we're setting a lot of records. Economically, we're setting records, and I think every way we're setting records. One of the best is the right track, wrong track. You saw that. We're on the right track for the first time in over 27 years.
It's a poll he's talking about.
People are impressed with that. The other thing is the feeling about our country. The feeling is great. It's up 48% on feeling on business. And that's the record we've never had. There's never been a record where we've ever gone up that much in such a short period of time. So we're doing really well. And I guess some of you are coming with us, and if you are, I hope you're going to have a good flight. What? He's got to say, I want to make peace. He doesn't have to stand there and say about Putin this, Putin that, all negative things. He's got to say, I want to make peace. I don't want to fight a war any longer. His people are dying. He doesn't have the cards, just so you understand it, okay? I can tell you.
Did you tell
I don't
him to
have
leave?
to tell you that. Go ahead. I think you know the answer to that. What? Wait. Look, I don't trust or distrust anybody. I just want to get a deal done. And if the deal happens, good. But you can't embolden somebody that does not have the cards, and all of a sudden that person says, oh, well, now I can keep fighting. We're not going to keep fighting. You're going to get the war done, or let them go and see what happens. Let them fight it out. I want anybody that's going to make peace, if he's capable of making peace, which he may or may not be, but I want somebody that's going to make peace. Again, he doesn't have the cards. When we sign up, he's got all of the cards. That doesn't mean he can fight. He's got to stop the fighting, stop the death. He's losing hundreds of thousands of soldiers. It's time to stop the death. Say it. Well, he says he wants it now. He wants to come back right now, but I can't do that. I can't. They should have an immediate ceasefire. That was the other thing. He didn't want to do about ceasefire. A ceasefire could take place immediately. A contract, if you want to end the war, you sign up an agreement. That's going to take a period of time. It takes time. I want it to end immediately. And I think if you had a ceasefire, it would be a ceasefire, a real one, that would end it. But he doesn't want to do that. That's fine. Do a better deal. I want it to end immediately. I want a ceasefire now. He says, oh, I don't want a ceasefire. Well, all of a sudden, he's a big shot because he has the U.S. on his side. Either we're going to end it or let him fight it out. And if he fights it out, it's not going to be pretty. Because without us, he doesn't win. Let me tell you. It doesn't matter what I'm considering. I'm just telling you.
He's not going to say that.
What I saw today. That was not a man that wanted to make peace. And I'm only interested if he wants to end the bloodshed. Thank you very much, everybody.
Let me get to the start of this. Because I missed the beginning.
All right. And we will see whether or not he makes any comments to the press traveling with him. It looks like he did.
¡Asmongol, Asmongol! ¡La tenés adentro! ¡Pedazo de capitalista de mierda!
Down to Florida, we have a big event tomorrow night. A big MAGA event. Make America Great Again.
This is the campaigning for the third term.
Setting records, and otherwise I'd rather be right now at the White House. But we're doing the big event tomorrow night.
Okay? Even if Zelensky's like, Mr. President, we need security assurances. Like, here are the valid reasons as to why we need some security from the American side. Like, we won't actually tilt the scales at all, but we understandably want, you know, land back and also a formative security assurance here from you guys in exchange for these fucking minerals, okay, if that's the case, then that conversation is supposed to take place behind closed doors. When you do that conversation out and about in broad daylight, and then also fucking lose your shit like this, like, I don't know where we go from here, you know? He's not wrong when he says Ukraine doesn't have the cards. Yeah, he's right. That's why Zelensky is, you know, thanking every European ally on the timeline, okay, on Twitter. But that's not going to move the needle. I don't think that Europe, especially right now, has the capability of mounting a defense for Ukraine without the United States of America. Okay? Especially because Ukraine does not have the manpower to continue defending itself from Russian forces. But everyone already understands this, except for Trump, I guess. I don't know. Or he understands it, but he still wants to be fucking a bully. I never thought I would see Hasanabi plus Putin apologist. Fuck you, Putin puppets. Wait, what? Putin apologist? Dude, this is the kind of attitude I think that liberals need to shake away very quickly. Like, they need to stop doing this. need you to understand, like, this invasion will always end by terms dictated on the battlefield. And currently, the terms dictated on the battlefield do not look great for
La puta que me parió.
Ukraine. It doesn't look great for Russia either, which is why they are willing to come to the table. What is the liberal approach to end the war? I feel like there is none. Yeah, that's the other side of the problem. That's why this is happening. Because the reasonable liberals, the liberals of sound mind, I guess, thought that this would just continue the way it is with Donald Trump. Ukraine cannot get back the land taken by Russia. They cannot continue this war for another year. It's easy to say Putin's a thug, but that's not going to result in anything. I know. But having said that, the way that Trump is going through this process is also fucking insane. Because Trump is also undermining the ceasefire himself. It is in his best interest not to fuck over Zelensky, at least actively and openly in broad daylight in the way that he is, especially without a replacement in mind. Do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no replacement in mind for Zelensky that is pro-Russia, for example, if that's the goal here. Like, he's just literally going on a whim. He's just operating on, he is running American policy on pure narcissism right now. What Trump says in this moment is also inconsequential. What will, just like what he said about ethnically cleansing Gaza was utterly inconsequential. What matters is what the other people who will actually cut these deals will say. That's why I'm not even that interested in what Zelensky's appearance is going to look like at 6 p.m. Okay, in 15 minutes when he goes on Bret Baier. I'm interested to hear what Marco Rubio is going to say at 9 p.m. on CNN. Later tonight at 6 p.m. Pacific, 9 p.m. Eastern Time, Marco Rubio is going to go on Caitlin Collins' show and describe the events that unfolded. He is going to, of course, predictably defend Trump and glaze Trump, but he will most likely communicate a more reasonable approach. That will help me make a better assessment of like what the meta is here, what the goal is here. Because this is how it usually goes. This happened last time around as well. Last Trump administration. The last time around, the Trump administration would deliver an important address to the nation, Secretary of State Marco Rubio. Last time around, Donald Trump would just come off and say insane stuff over and over again, right? A source close to Trump told me Zelensky should use his interview with Bret Baier to apologize to Trump. I'm going to repeat this one more time. America has always burned assets, okay? That's normal. They've just never burned an asset that is a whole-ass sovereign nation with like 40 million people after using and abusing them and you know, stealing their natural resources purely on the whims of one madman. I don't know what the goal is. I don't know where they go here, but I do think that Zelensky will probably apologize. No matter how much Zelensky apologizes, there's no shot Trump will cave in. We can only rug pull the Kurds every time. This is a new level. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, this is, they're treating Ukraine like Kurdish militias in the region, in the Middle East. It is not one madman. It is simple deployment of troops globally, and also 60% of said stores, logistics. What? Trump lies. It is not one madman. No, it's definitely one madman. What? You think You think Marco Rubio wanted Trump to behave like this? You can look at his face. I don't think he wanted Trump to behave like this. And if you're trying to say like it's Trump and Putin, sure, fair. But I don't think even Putin thought Trump would behave like this. Yeah, Ukraine getting dropped harder than the SDF when the Turks appear on the hills. Exactly. Dude, for the record, Elent News can also attest to this. He's been here throughout this entire process, I believe. But like, I said that this probably a million times in the past 3 years. The inevitability of America just being like, all right, we're done with you. Okay? This is what we do. This is not foresight. It's not hindsight. It's just sight. This is what we do. I've had this conversation a lot. I've had this exact same conversation on multiple occasions as the NATO heads would yell at me non-fucking stop about how I was in support of Adolf Hitler. Things were arguably looking up for Zelensky this morning. Now Trump is going to make him apologize on Fox News, probably in English, Ukrainian, and Russian. Yeah. When was the last time US did that? Just drop them? Wait, what? Every single instance. Virtually every single one of our supposed military allies we've done this to. It's always. Everyone. Always. And forever. This is American foreign policy. This is how it works. Welcome to those who accept Israel. Dog, Israel is America.
And in the last few minutes, we're also hearing from Fox News in the United States that a White House official has told them, and I quote, Trump kicked out Zelensky. He did not walk off on his own. The rare minerals deal was not signed. The White House says the Ukrainians were, and again I quote, begging to reset. But Rubio and Waltz, that's Secretary of State Marco Rubio, and National Security Advisor Mike Waltz, informed them Zelensky needs to leave the White House grounds and return when he's ready for peace. The president and US officials felt disrespected by Zelensky's rhetoric and demeanor, and they cited that he was shrugging and rolling his eyes throughout the conversation. At the end of that extraordinary back and forth in the Oval Office, President Trump told reporters that this would make great television. Well, it did that, but it certainly has not made great diplomacy. It has set back efforts to bring about peace in Ukraine by some distance. What was played out for the world to see was just remarkable. It really began when President Trump suggested that he was not aligned with Russia or Ukraine, but was somewhere in the middle. If that statement from a president of the United States doesn't tell you that the geopolitical plates have shifted, nothing ever will. And then, of course,
remember how you get called a fucking tank for this take on U.S. foreign policy like 3 months ago? I got called a fucking tank for this take on U.S. foreign policy, 2 years ago as well. It's not just 3 months ago. The needle drop! Thank you for the raid. Hope you had a good stream, brother. We are watching the American foreign policy collapse in and of itself and move in the trajectory of being a more violent force than even previously, while dropping off pretense of doing it from soft power initiatives. Welcome to the new meta of the dying empire.
President Zelensky wanted to know what diplomacy meant because he says Vladimir Putin doesn't honor ceasefires. That's what prompted the Vice President James Vance to intervene and accuse him of being disrespectful. And it ultimately came to the point where President Trump then said that he was gambling with World War III. Don't tell us what we're going to feel in the future. You're in no position to do that. Make a deal or get out. well, they didn't make the deal, and he has got out. And right now, I think it is a defining moment for Ukraine, for Europe, for America, and arguably for the world.
Now to bring back Chief Washington correspondent Major Garrett for more context here. Major, we're just learning the White House has said that after the meeting, the Ukrainian officials left the Oval Office in a separated...
That's the other part of this. Blowback, most likely to Europe first and foremost, and then definitely to America as well. But that's like, that's not in the immediate future, okay? Yeah, I know the Zelensky interview is apparently going to be on Fox News in 6 minutes, I know, with Bret Baier, where he most likely will apologize to Donald Trump. That's what I think. But yeah. What is blowback? It's perhaps one of my most famous quotes about America and what it deserves and what it did to itself.
Feel that this entire dismantling was the only way to do it, because I tried for so long, for so hard, to empty out the ocean with a bucket that I saw that it did nothing. So there was nothing in the past that came close to the efficacy that we're seeing now.
Right, you don't need a bucket, you just need a chainsaw. One more thing.
Room, and it sounds like they were holding, waiting to see if they could re-engage in some conversation. That didn't happen, and essentially they were escorted out. Based on your reporting, is that pretty extraordinary?
Very. It's for the moment, and President Trump can and does sometimes change his
clips,
mind and
quotes.
perspective.
No, I got quotes, and clips too, but also quotes.
This could be put back together, but for the moment, it is a significant, hard-to-repair breach in relations between... Why was Zelensky here? He was here because through this week, there had been a negotiating process that we were told had led to an agreement about U.S. access on a long-term basis to rare earth minerals in Ukraine. That would be an important linkage of the two countries. And the Trump administration saw within that agreement not only a way to recoup some of the money sent to Ukraine. It's not anywhere near as much as President Trump says. He always says $350 billion. It's much closer to $120 billion. But this would be a way to recoup some of that, a priority for President Trump. And the administration and the Ukrainians agreed that that link
of the war still influence.
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed yourself to be in a very bad position, and he happens to be right about it.
From the very beginning of the war.
You're not in a good position. You don't have the cards right now. With us, you start having cards. Right now, you don't. You're playing cards. You're playing cards. You're gambling with the lives of millions of people. You're gambling with World War III. You're gambling with World War III. And what you're doing is very disrespectful to the country, this country. That's back to you. Far more than a lot of people said they should have.
Have you said thank you once?
A lot of times.
No, in this entire meeting, you said thank you.
Today.
You went to Pennsylvania and campaigned for the opposition in October. Offer some words of appreciation for the United States of America and the president who's trying to save your country.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war, you
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can
Wait a minute.
still influence?
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed a lot of people say...
If you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Please, you think that if you will speak very loudly about the war,
He's not speaking loudly. He's not speaking loudly. Your country's in big trouble.
Can
Wait a minute.
still influence?
You're right now not in a very good position. You've allowed
From
yourself
the
to
very
be.
¿Qué pasó? No, estoy bien, gracias.
Comprame unas gomitas.
Gomitas.
Unas baratas, no de bueno, no de espacio, una cosa así.
¿Qué te dije, drogado?
Hoy me voy a quedar así.
¡Ah! ¡Drogado! Apago el celular y me drogo. Tenemos que arreglar porque me siento un pelotudo, te lo tomaste toda, lío. Así que anda a comprar otra. Anda a comprar otra y repone. Yo voy a comer dos. Yo me quiero dar sobredosis, quiero quedar babeado así.
Si viene la basura y recogí ahí un poco.
Ah, bien ahí, boludo. Más tarde puedo pasar.
Ya digo, llevo 2 días sin hacer nada, te puedo más, yo fui a trabajar.
Sí, yo también tuve 2 días que no hice nada. Yo puedo cuidar. Después te voy a explicar más tarde. Mami, sí, va a quedar babeado. Ojalá que pegue. Ojalá que pegue, cura. Una gana de drogarme tengo. De apagar el celular. Hoy se va toda la mierda. Hoy es tercera guerra mundial. Trump puteando a Zelensky. Asmongold contra Hasanabi. Hasanabi contra Asmongold.
The partners.
Unless he called Xi Jinping after the fucking Trump shit.
Hoy es un día interesante para ver noticiero.
I don't remember exactly, but like President Reagan said, that peace is not just an absent the war. Yes, we are speaking about just lasting peace, about freedom, about justice, about human rights. And that's why I said that I think so, that ceasefire, and you know Putin, he broken 25 times ceasefire during all these years, 10 years.
So I'm not hearing from you, Mr. President.
Oh my God, Brett Bayer's dressing him down.
No, I respect the president and I respect American people. And if, I don't know, if I think that we have to be very open and very honest, and I'm not sure that we did something bad. I think maybe sometimes some things we have to discuss out of media, with all respect to democracy and to a free media. But there are things that where we have to understand